Hi, and welcome to the snippets of my personal diary. I don't know what I'm gonna call this. You know what? I don't know what I'm gonna call this. I just decided upon it. I thought I was gonna integrate it into my podcast, but I was like, let me make it something separate, something that it's only what do they call it? Exclusive to the people that are watching my YouTube. So these are going to be snippets. I don't know if I'm going to continue with it, but these are like snippets of my diary that I think other people can benefit from, or to just listen to the diaries of a stranger. I'm going to read things that I'm comfortable sharing. So this is vulnerability, and this is like an invitation for you to start journaling, for you to start being comfortable with being vulnerable, either with yourself, with somebody you trust, or a diary. So at first I was vulnerable with myself, and then I became vulnerable with my diary and my teddy bear Eloise. Yes, I talked to her, didn't judge me. And now I'm getting vulnerable with you. So don't mind me holding the papers. I used to write in a diary. I gave it to my mother December of 2025. She was complaining, oh, can you want a diary, this that. So I bought a new diary that I'm journaling in this year, but I keep these papers with me because they are pieces of my soul. So I'm gonna read a diary entry that I wrote on Friday, 24th of October 2025. I was going through the most. And each and every year I give my diary entry a new name. This year it has a name, and then this one I named it Eloise. So I'm gonna read to you the diary entry and then explain why I don't intend for this to be long, but explain why I basically wrote it, or what you can draw from it. I've been talking, let me begin. Dear Eloise, I know not where to begin, let alone how. This year has been nothing but pure and an insane mess. In any case, I want to turn over a new leaf. I would have loved to say a new beginning, but that wouldn't sound right. And so instead, I want to say a continuation. This is an entry of an agency long stalled, an initiative long desired, and so I return to improve on what was and who I once was. This isn't detail but a proclamation. A right to claim back parts of myself I've lost, parts of myself I have buried inadvertently, parts that are core pillars and foundation of my being, my purpose, my drive, my strive, identity, actualization. Growing up, I used to write a lot stories, poetry. I did, however, perform and narrate poems, if not write them. I used to read, to talk, to teach, and empower. I had the strength and the attitude of someone brilliant, dedicated, ambitious, self driven, and very powerful mindset and will wise. I was very powerful mindset and will wise. That's what I mean by that. I went after every single thing I wanted, and trust you me, I got it. I got them all. I don't recall ever doubting myself, my capabilities. Oh no, I was a powerhouse, unbreakable. And so tonight I wish to celebrate that child, to celebrate his soul, his courage and resolve. I wish to one day meet him and tell him just how much he inspires me. I'm referring to my childhood self here. How much I look up to him, respect him, learn from him, and admire him. How I am his biggest and most loyal fan. How I want to reach out my hand to him and tell him to hold me by the hand. Tell him to guide me, to coach me, to lead me. Yes, I wish for him to be my leader. I don't know, but I think because he's the best version of us. Now, the reason I use us is that when I refer to myself and like I'm writing in my diary, I like to think of my different parts as individual components, or let me say, I as Hanya, I am a soul, and there are pieces that make me. And so those pieces can stand for themselves. It can be maybe my religious self, it can be maybe my queer self, it can be maybe my academic self. All those selves are part of me. And sometimes when I refer, you see now I'm saying we when I refer to a particular soul piece, let's say I'm talking about my academic side, it's not only me who's talking, but all the other pieces of me, my religious self, my queer self, my other self. So it's like we are talking about a particular part of me. So that's why in this sentence I said us, because I don't like to think of myself as an individualistic being. Well, technically I am, but like I'm an entity that's, I'm a building, I'm a monument that's made up of multiple bricks, if I can put it that way. Sorry. But okay, let me continue reading. Not because okay, yes. I wish for him to be my leader. I don't know, but I think because he is the best of us. Not because he is innocent or young or inexperienced, my younger self that is, in other matters of the world. No, but because he knew better than all of us how to get the job done when it needed to be done. He was the most competent of us. We are who we are today because he paved the way. We may have disgraced him, but he still calls us home despite how much we mess up. To the one who writes to me, and then now I changed POV. Oh my God. Okay, I feel like I'm a complicated being. So the first part of that diary entry, it was my current self, meaning the me that was writing that diary entry on October 24th, 2025. I was writing it to my childhood self, my past self. And now I changed the POV. Now my past self, meaning my younger self, meaning my inner self that I yearn for, is writing back to me. I don't know if it makes sense, but bear with me. Now my younger self is writing to my current self, not 2026, the current self that wrote is there in oh my God, forgive me, but yes. I hope I'm not I'm confusing you guys, but let me carry on. Let me carry on. To the one who writes to me, utmost thanks and gratitude for all you've said. Truth be told, I am no better than you. We are who we are because parts of us are shaped by our environments. You know of things that only came after I was, not when I was. You've seen things and lived through events that would have destroyed you lived through events that would have destroyed them, meaning my other selves. But look at you, still standing and living. If that's not strength, if that's not courage and not a strong will, then I don't know what it is. Look, we are all one, like I've already explained. In each other we live on. None is better than the other, meaning my religious self is not better than my queer self. My queer self is not better than my academic self. My academic self is not better than my compassionate self or my friend self or whichever other self. You too can do what I've done and even better. That's my younger self advising my older self. You have the gift of wisdom and knowledge of the past, and your past selves, meaning my current self, is at an advantage because he knows what my past self has gone through, and so he can use the lessons derived from the experience of my past self to be able to navigate the present life and prepare for the future, or prepare for and make way for the future me, which is the 2026 me, the me that's to come next week, the me that's to come tomorrow if I live to see another day. All right. So I'm continuing reading now. If anyone can obtain the greatness we've so desired, it is you. The reason my younger self says this is because my current self of 2025 at that time was going through a lot of academic downslide. I was depressed. I was going through the most. I wasn't studying as my younger self used to. That's why I wrote this diary, and I was basically venting out to my younger self. Hanya, how did you do it when you were young? How were you able to keep it together despite the experiences? Sorry for the background noise. Despite the experiences that you had to encounter, the things that you experienced, and so my younger self is telling was telling my current self that if anyone can obtain greatness, is you. The greatness that you cry for, the greatness that you desire, the, I don't know, the achievements that you seek, the targets that you want to reach, you still have the capacity to achieve them. Is that it's just that you undermine yourself. It's just that you keep on wanting to be the same as your younger self, and you cannot be that. But I will elaborate on that after this. And then now my younger self is telling my old self, my wisdom for you or to you is greatness calls for sacrifice, immense discipline, and seclusion. Detach and look. Don't just look within, be one who lies within. We've placed our trust in you, so win for us all, please. And sorry, that's it. That's it. But I want to explain this last paragraph. Um, Greatness calls for sacrifice. I've realized that there are a plethora of things that I had to sacrifice. My social media presence. I've deleted Facebook. I've deleted TikTok. I've deleted WhatsApp. I'm only left with my academic WhatsApp that I use to, communicate with, to get messages basically from module reps or class reps, to basically get academic communication. I don't chat with anyone else. And then what else? Immense discipline. Yes, immense discipline just refers to studying when I have to study, and not just because I'm in the mood to, waking up to study in the morning, studying in the afternoon instead of taking a nap like I planned to or like I felt like doing. That is immense discipline for me. And seclusion. I don't know, but social media presence can kind of depresses me or stresses me to some point. I end up coming across things that make me sad or trigger parts of myself, or parts of me that are not yet healed. So seclusion helps me from that. Now, as of recording this, I'm recording this in January. I don't know when I'm gonna post it. Probably February, because that's when my YouTube channel launches. But I can tell I left social media on the 30th of December. What I can tell you is that I felt so much happy. I don't wake up feeling stressed. I don't wake up having to worry about who's gonna say what to me, whose status I'm gonna see, and then I'm gonna see something that's gonna offend me. I'm gonna scroll down Facebook and see some racist or homophobic or I don't know, whatever post, all this kind of things. Like, I don't know if I make sense, but basically detachment from that kind of a world, or taking a break from it, helps me. Yes, I'm gonna come back after several months, but as of now, I want to work on myself. I want to heal parts of myself. This is the sacrifice that my younger self was telling my 2025 self about, and so my 2026 self is deciding to act upon that. Are you following? But yeah, so don't just look within, be one with who lies within. This is my younger self telling my 2025 self that, stop looking inside and complaining or crying to me, your younger self. Don't just look within, become one with me. If you really admire the way I used to be, then why can't you just be by studying? If you admire the way I used to study back in the days, why don't you just study? If you admire the way you were strong, the way you were courageous, the way you'd stand up to people who kind of try to pull you down, why now can't you do that? Why can't you learn from me instead of crying to me all the time? Get it? So my younger self, together with all my other selves, is telling my 2025 self that, we have placed our trust in you, so win for us all, please. And so my 2026 self is deciding to win. My 2026 self is deciding to win. And like I've said, I don't know if I'm gonna keep, posting these things. If you love this kind of content, snippets of my diary, not too personal, I'm only gonna share things that I feel comfortable with sharing. Tell me. I don't know what a name that I'm gonna give it, but I will try to look for a name, and then I will try to post it as regularly as possible. With that said, don't forget to watch my other videos on YouTube, visit my Spotify, and listen to the other podcast. Their season 1 is already out there. And then also follow me on Instagram. I'm active on Instagram because I use it for branding. I use it for advertisements and all of that. So follow me on Instagram, Kaya Shanley. That's my handle, Kaya _Shanley. I will try to put it in the link. I will try to put a link. What is put it in the link? Put a link in the description. Hey, but yes. Oh, English. But yes, and then I think that's it. I think that's it. You know, this is my first episode, so I'm just first episode of this. So I'm just all over the place. I'm not speaking directionally like bear with me, but thank you for staying with me so far. It's dark outside, as you can see. Let me continue journaling. Let me journal. Let me journal. Anyways, thank you. Love and hugs. Bye bye.